Hey, what's up, you guys? Hey, this is Dr. Collins here to help you with your court-mandated programs, and I'm here to get your mindset right. It is so important that you guys get your mindset right for so many reasons, because a lot of people are playing the game wrong, okay? If you want to play the game the right way, you have to understand numbers, okay? And I'm going to keep this very basic, okay? This class right now is about doing math, okay? You need to do math. We're not going to make emotional decisions. We're going to make data-driven decisions, okay? So this is what helped me go to the next level in my business, because I understood early on, if the math doesn't make sense, don't do it. But if it does make sense, guess what? It's time to lock in, all right? So, perfect example. Let's say you do an evaluation for $200, okay? $200 evaluation. And you say, you know what? I want to do 2 of those. That's going to give me $400, okay? $400, okay? When I was working at a DUI school, I was doing this math, okay? Then I say, you know what? If I do that, $400 times 250 days out of the year, that's going to give me $100,000. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, understand the math. You have to understand the simple math of doing things. And that's what gets you motivated to get your license, get your certification. Okay, get the necessary training and skills that you need to elevate your business. So let's say you're making $50,000 a year right now, and you want to add an extra 100 grand to what you're doing. Do this. Do this. Write evaluations. You might want to write a mental health evaluation. Okay, we charge, how much we charge for mental health evaluations? I believe it's $550. Okay. Mental health evaluation. You might want to charge for a SAP evaluation. Most people charge $500 for those. Okay? You might want to do a Nexus letter. $1,500. Okay? Do the math. If the math makes sense, do it. But we have to get out of the wrong mindset of not being willing to invest in ourselves, in our businesses, okay? Do not invest more money in your college degrees than you do your business, okay? I see so many people do it. I see so many people stall. I talk about this all the time. People just out here stalling. They will go and get a whole bunch of degrees. They'll go get them a PhD instead of investing in their business, instead of betting on themselves. Don't go get another degree, okay? Go in and do the work, okay? Go in, invest in your business, go get that loan for your business, do whatever it takes, and take the leap and bet on yourself, because no one else is going to do it, okay? No one's going to do it for you, but you have to have the right mindset. Your mindset needs to be top tier, okay? And you have to do the math, okay? We're only going to make data-informed decisions moving forward, okay? So when we're talking about mindset, when we're talking about elevation, what does that mean? It means betting on yourself, number one. Number two, it means taking risks, calculated risks, okay? And being smart, not strong, okay? You want to be smart, not strong, okay? Pay attention, and pay attention to the trends. Pay attention to what's going on. You want to have a high level of awareness. So let me write that down. High level of awareness. What does that mean? It means you're paying attention to trends, what's going on, where's the money flowing, okay? Hey, this side of town is busy, this side of town is not. I'm doing research. I'm looking at analytics. I'm looking at the back end data to make business decisions. I'm testing things. I'm asking questions. I'm paying attention. There's times when I drive my car down the freeway and I have no music on because I want to pay attention to what's going on in my surroundings. I want to know what's going on in my community. I'm looking at each and every billboard while I'm driving, okay? I'm looking at signs. I'm looking at how other people advertise their businesses. I'm looking for clues. I'm looking for data, okay? So many people are out here sleepwalking. Okay? You gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. You can't be out here sleepwalking. You need awareness. Pay attention to what's going on. Okay? Where are your customers going? Matter of fact, how are people getting money from you? We're consumers as well. I'm a consumer. So whenever I pay someone some money, I'm trying to figure out how did they get that money out of my pocket? What did they do to get that money out of my pocket? And then I might want to replicate the same thing. I might want to replicate what they're doing on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on YouTube. Pay attention. I remember a buddy of mine back in high school, he used to copy everything I used to say to women, or back then girls. And I used to get mad at him. I'm like, dude, stop copying my lines, bro. Stop using my lines. It's getting annoying. But he was smart. He knew what worked. And he would copy my stuff verbatim. And it would work for him. If it works, do it. We do this all the time. I don't know if you guys are watching this, and if you're gamblers, I'm a gambler. Okay, I love going to the casino. I love playing roulette. One of the things that we do in roulette, or one of the things that I do, if someone gets a hot hand, I'm going to follow them. Okay? So if someone is hot and they keep on hitting and they keep on winning on the table, I'm going to copy bet them. I'm going to copy bet them every single time because they have the hot hand. I'm like, you get money, I'm going to get some money too. So you guys can do the same thing. Okay? Have awareness. Pay attention who's winning and what are they doing. Okay? Very important. That's why it's so important to get a coach. My wife, she has a coach. She has a day trading coach. And she's copy betting her coach. She's doing the same trades as her coach. Some of you guys are just winging it out here. You need to get a coach, you need to get a mentor and copy what they're doing. And you need to invest in paying them. Okay, stop being cheap. Because that's the next line I'm going to put. Stop being cheap. Put a line through that. Some of you guys are just too damn cheap. And you're wondering why you're not making money. I'm surprised of so many people that are in this business that are cheap as hell. It makes no sense. How are you in business, but you're afraid to invest in your business? It makes zero sense. Stop being cheap. You're going to have to invest. You're going to have to invest in the masterminds. You're going to have to invest in the trainings, in the mentorships. I'm telling you guys this because this is what I do. Okay? If you guys want to go to the next level, you need to get mentorship from people that are making the 6 and 7 figures and the 8 figures. Okay? And spend the time doing the work. Like, give up watching the show that you love to watch. Okay? You need to lock in for like 2, 3, 4, or 5 months, maybe even a year, and lock in and get some high-paying skills and some high-paying information or high leverage that makes everything different for you moving forward. I'm letting you guys know. I know something that most people don't know. That's why I excel. Okay? Get in the rooms with people that know something that you don't know. That's the difference. It's not your lack of aptitude. It's not lack of education. It is lack of information and lack of awareness. Okay? If you want to make more money, you need more information and you need more awareness. You are probably not aware of certain programs, and opportunities that are available that other people are, and that's the difference. Okay, I used to have an office in my old office in Marietta. I used to have an office. What street was that? It's on Delk Road. I used to have an office on Delk Road, and there was a counseling agency underneath me, and no one went in there. Like I didn't see not one counseling client walk up in there. That place was always empty, but it was huge facility. I'm like, how are they even making money? How are they even paying their rent every day, or every month? Excuse me. How are they paying their rent? Then it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, they must have a grant. They must have a grant. They're getting funding from somewhere. They know something that I don't know. So I started looking into grants and funding and contracts. Okay? You know, a lot of therapists are doing things the hard way, but have you thought about bidding on contracts? Have you thought about writing grants, applying for grants? Have you thought about looking for speaking opportunities? While everyone's focused on different areas, you know, on social media, a lot of people are focused on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. My focus is on LinkedIn. That's where my focus is. Okay? So I want you guys to really consider this, because I have a LinkedIn coach. I'm going through a coaching program right now. So I want you guys to understand, you have to learn how to pivot, pay attention, and if you're fishing in the pond and there's no fish, it's time for you to fish in another pond. Okay? It's time for you to pivot. All right? I was fishing in the Facebook pond. Now I fish in the LinkedIn pond. I need some bigger fish. Okay? The fish in Facebook was cool, but I need some bigger fish. So now I'm in LinkedIn fishing. Okay? You guys have to pay attention. All right? Pay attention to the subtleties of life, and ask questions. It amazes me how many people, they get not because they ask not. I was on a TikTok live last night, and I asked the people that were watching me on TikTok, I said, hey, you guys have any questions? And it was straight crickets. And that I told them, I said, hey, this bothers me. You guys are literally watching me right now, and you guys know what I do. You know the success that I have, and yet you're afraid to ask questions. Ask questions. I don't care if you think it's a stupid question, ask questions. Okay? And then also ask for favors, because the answer might be yes. It amazes me how people just don't ask. I want you to be the kings and queens of asking this year, okay? This year, I want you to be the kings and queens of asking, okay? But not asking for permission. You guys know my line. If you guys watch me all the time, I'm not asking for permission. I ask for forgiveness, okay? So we're not asking for permission. I want you guys to stand in your authority and understand that you're a boss, okay? You need to own that boss lifestyle and say, hey, I'm a boss of me, okay? God inside of me, and I have the God-like ability to create things. And you have the ability to create things in your life, okay? And understand that and know that and walk in it. Now, I'm not here to preach to you guys, okay? This is not a sermon. But I'm here to give you guys some real game, because so many people are walking around like they're nothing. Okay? I was talking to one of my employees earlier today about imposter syndrome. We cannot have that. Some of you guys are licensed, you guys are credentialed, you got PhDs, you got LPCs, LCSWs, LMFTs, you have everything. You have every alphabet or every letter in the alphabet. more qualified than me even, and you're scared. Okay? I'm telling you guys, stop being scared. And even if you are scared, have courage. Even the cowardly lion from the Wizard of Oz knew that he needed courage to take his life to the next level. I need you guys to move in spite of fear. Okay? And 9 times out of 10, whatever you're afraid of is nothing anyway. I promise you, whatever you're afraid of cannot even hurt you. I saw a shirt that said, the treasure that you seek dwells in a cave that you're afraid to enter. The treasure that you seek lives in the cave that you're afraid to enter. I want you guys to really think about that. Okay? Really think about this. This is important. Okay? So many people are missing out on opportunities because they're just scared. I was talking to my mother last night, and she's talking about how she wants to travel more, and my stepfather doesn't want to travel. I said, leave him. I said, leave his ass. I'll bounce on his ass straight up. Leave him. If they don't want to go, you go. If I waited on people to travel with me, I would not go anywhere. I promise you. I've been telling friends, family for years to travel with me overseas. If you guys know me, I love to travel abroad. Okay? Anyone that knows me knows that I do the international travel thing. That's my jam. I will save money to just travel abroad, straight up. And I have told people have tried to talk me out of going to all these different places. Oh, Derek, don't go to Brazil. They're going to rob you. I went to Brazil, and I was scared to death the first time I went to Brazil. And I got mad as soon as I got off the plane. Looked like downtown Atlanta. Like, what are we afraid of? I'm listening to people that have never been to the places that I'm going to. And that's the problem that we make. We're listening to the wrong people. They've never been to where you're trying to go. I'm not listening to people that have never been where I'm trying to go. I'm listening to the people that have been where I'm trying to go. I'm listening to people that make more money than me. I'm listening to people that have a better body than me. I'm listening to people that have a better family lifestyle than me. I'm listening to people that have exceptional kids. Start listening to people that have receipts. If they don't have receipts, don't listen to them. Period. I'm looking for evidence. I'm looking for receipts. So, when someone tries to talk you out of something, do a receipt check. Ask, hey, do they have receipts? And then sometimes people just try to talk you out of doing stuff is because they don't want you doing better than them. We call those haters. Okay? So understand what's going on. Understand the process, because guess what? You guys, for all we know, we only got one life to live. And one of the things that I practice is the whole lifestyle. Yes, I practice the whole lifestyle. And you're like, what are you talking about, Derek? What's the whole lifestyle? You a hoe for real? Yeah, I'm a hoe. I'm talking about heaven on earth. That's the acronym. Heaven on earth. Where does that come from? That comes from planning. That comes from living with intention. That comes with designing my life. That's the whole lifestyle. Heaven on earth. Okay? I want you guys to live with intention, have a plan, and choose to design your life. What does design your life mean? How much are you going to weigh? What car are you going to drive? Where are you going to live? What school do you want your kids to go to? Where are you going to travel to? and map out a plan on how you're going to get there. It starts with doing the numbers. That's the foundation. Okay? It starts with having a target. You have to have a target, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are watching this, please have a target. You got to have a target. Okay? To go to the next level, you need to have a target and map out, okay, how am I going to get there? That's why I love this example right here. You say, I want to make $100,000 a year. Well, if you're going to make $100,000 a year, I'm going to say, I'm going to do 2 evaluations a day for 250 days out of the year. Mind you, there's 365 days in a year. So if I could just do 2 of these for 250 days out of the year, I can hit my target. Map it out. Make a plan. That's what I did when I worked at the DUI schools. When I was contracting at DUI schools, I saw the numbers. Well, I didn't see the numbers. I was calculating in my head. I was like, man, I can do this. And I was like, you know what? Let me get my stuff together and let me get my credential. That's what motivated me to get my credential, because I cracked the numbers. And then once I did the numbers, I was motivated to study. And my plan was to study every single day. I studied night and day. In between breaks of teaching classes, teaching defensive driving and risk reduction, I would study my book on how to become an alcohol and drug counselor. I would study. When I went home, I would study. And then I sat for my exam, passed my exam, and then it was off to the races after that. But it started with me having a plan and making a data-informed decision. So with that being said, if you guys want to book me for a VIP day, you guys want to learn how to do court mandated stuff, hit me up. Call my team at 404-503-8069 or go to thediversioncenter.com. If you're probation, parole, community supervision, and you guys need help with your court mandated programs, if you need help with your interventions and you want curriculum for your programs and you need training, I'm here to help you out as well. So contact my team, 404-503-8069. I hope you guys have a great day and make sure you have courage.